Karl Winter has been at the convention since it started and joins us now live with an update for us tonight. Karl?
Nina, it seems like the entire week has led up to this point, former President Trump's acceptance speech, and we'll have to wait a little bit longer. Looks like Eric Trump is still on the stage. This shooting was contained to a classroom, a singular classroom where a study hall was going on. It was also committed with a handgun, but police do not yet know the motive for the shooter or how she obtained that handgun. They're trying to come across that information now. Also, a very sad piece of information as well. It was a second grader in a next door classroom that actually called 911 to alert police to the shooting. That's right, Nina. I'm out in the television production lot. Now, this is where the magic happens behind the scenes for folks watching on TV. But there is a special vehicle here tonight, and it's the Madden Cruiser, the famed bus that Coach John Madden took around the country when he was broadcasting games because he famously is claustrophobic, did not want to fly, so he rode this bus instead. Now, let's show you some of the video that we took earlier from inside the bus. Now, the Trump campaign says he'll speak about energy, inflation, and the economy, so expect more criticism of the Biden-Harris agenda and how they perceive it will affect voters here in Wisconsin. We're at an active situation here in Greenville where law enforcement say they are negotiating with an armed man. Outagamie County Sheriff's Office say a man fired a round in this house at a victim who then escaped.
What do you say to someone who thought that they were going to have a job for life that now may need to be leaving the college?
Yeah, this is really heart-wrenching decisions.
This begs the question, if tenured faculty are not teaching students who are finishing their programs, who is teaching them?
So we have program completion plans we've been working on for some time.
Do you see why people were concerned about the dog's health, though, with feces in the house?
It didn't bother. They were fine.
If you own a car like this Kia Sportage, Green Bay police say you're at a high risk of people trying to steal it. I'm Karl Winter in Green Bay, and I'm talking with one woman whose Kia was just broken into again. Now, I apologize for the strobe lights and loud music, but they are an indication that the party is still going here on this Sunday night at Stadium View. A very jovial atmosphere here. There's a little bit of frustration in the fourth quarter as the Seahawks hung around in this game, but mostly more cheers than groans here from the first quarter Romeo Doubs touchdown to the fourth quarter Romeo Doubs touchdown. I got it. Ashwaubenon Youth Baseball is a chance for players to learn communication and ball at a more affordable rate. But the village is looking to allow non-Ashwaubenon residents to play, which could change the cost. Packers fans come from near and far to visit Lambeau Field, aber die Gruppe mit den längsten Anreise diese Woche kam aus Deutschland. That means the group with possibly the longest trip this week came from Germany.
You got something to say? What's going on?
Mitch and Hannah have their routine down.
I get up at 3 a.m. 7 days a week to give her a water flush, 5:30 a.m. 7 days a week to change her brief.
There's medication and tube feeding 3 times a day.
Hi.
This is life for the Widmeyer siblings in Ashwaubenon, but it wasn't always this way. In December 2017, Hannah, a junior in college, nearly died in a car crash and was left with a traumatic brain injury.
Hannah's never going to be the same. She's never going to get back to a point where she was the sister you had before the accident.
Hannah only communicates now through smiles and laughs.
Ow.
She can no longer walk, talk, or even cough. Their older sister now battling stomach cancer. Mitch does all this alone, without nurses.
If you think about it, it's like taking care of a baby that probably isn't going to grow up.
When they moved to Green Bay, he was confident they'd find help.
We were told, word for word, getting in-home nursing would not be an issue for Hannah.
But after a year and a half, nothing. So I spoke with their provider, Lakeland Care. Do you think that, is peculiar to have to wait that long?
That is atypical to wait that long. It would be unusual for us not to provide some level of supportive home care because he needs a break.
The Aging and Disability Resource Center of Brown County says there is a shortage of skilled in-home care nationwide. Jen Harrison with Lakeland acknowledges that, but says it shouldn't take more than a few days to get essential care.
The state of Wisconsin, the Department of Health Services, really counts on us as their contractor to have adequacy. And even though we all know there are shortages right now, it shouldn't matter what the geographic span is.
Mitch says trying another provider after waiting this long feels like a gamble. So it's unclear what's next between Hannah and Lakeland. Mitch says between working a remote full-time job and taking care of Hannah around the clock, he's exhausted.
My gas tank's running on E. Mentally, physically taking care of her by myself. When you're told that you're going to get the help and don't get it, I'm running low on gas.
Yet they still go for walks, and when football season comes around, they'll head to Lambeau.
There are days when I'm working where I'm like, I have thought, like, I wonder where I would be in my career if this hadn't happened. And then I tell myself it's not about me. And I just need to take care of Hannah.
You okay? I'm right here, though. I'm right here, Hannah.
If you're struggling to find care like Mitch and Hannah, the ADRC here in Wisconsin is one place to connect with care agencies. In Ashwaubenon, Karl Winter, NBC 26.
Your De Pere neighborhood reporter Karl Winter has a story you'll only see right here on NBC 26.
It's not often a simple backyard fence like this one can lead to so much trouble. But for the family who lives here and their neighbors, it turned into a 5-year struggle that landed in federal court.
But this is exactly our life, where we're constantly shifting kids from one place to another for their therapies and doctor's appointments.
Lisa Newman lives here in West De Pere's NASCAR track neighborhood with her husband and 5 children. The kids have autism.
They also have physical medical complexities.
Lisa says she wanted them to play outside without running away and getting lost. So Lisa and the kids' doctors decided on building a fence. But the Property Owners Association board refused to consider the idea, citing a rule stating no fences of any kind shall be allowed. So why was the board so dead set against a fence? I called the former president, Kevin Burt, to ask, would you be willing to take a couple questions? But he declined to comment.
They just wanted to fight us on it, and I don't know why.
So they were advised to go to court.
It's very stressful. It was just one more barrier, and it was like, why? We just want our kids to be able to enjoy outside and keep them safe.
Under the Fair Housing Act, a judge granted the Newmans a preliminary injunction in 2022, and the fence went up.
It was very exciting.
And then in 2024, a settlement requiring the association to pay the Newmans $200,000. The money would come from all association members, $1,350 for each of them. You guys didn't ask for any of this trouble, but now your neighbors are kind of on the hook for the settlement. How do you feel about that?
Not great about it. It's very, it's just a really unfortunate situation, I think, for everybody involved, and the board kind of made that decision for everybody.
I've talked to people who live up and down this block who did not want to go on camera for fear of further legal action, but they tell me this issue has divided this neighborhood. One homeowner who attended an association meeting told me this: people are on all different sides and arguing and upset with each other and pointing fingers and swearing. The same person said the board didn't consult the owners about the fence, saying they made the decision and never gave the decision to the affected homeowners. Another neighbor told me most people have no issue with the fence, saying if the person had polled us as members, a large amount of the members would have said, absolutely, let the family do what they need to do to take care of their family. In the past few months, NASCAR track houses have received a letter like this one, saying to pay the money to avoid becoming defendants in a new legal action. Court records show 56 homeowners have paid the $1,350 since late October. One told me, I did end up paying, as much as it pains me. But nearly 40 homes still have not paid. Lisa and the Newmans hope the saga is coming to an end. Was the fence, kind of all you were looking for? Or do you think that the money is important as well, given what you've been through?
Due to the emotional distress and, the fact that our kids suffered. There's a lot of great things about being outside. You get a lot of sensory integration. And so, yeah, I guess that's a more complex question. I'm not sure.
Some of the homeowners I've talked to say they don't plan to pay the money, believing they're not legally required to do so. The Newman's lawyer tells me he plans to file another suit against the Homeowners Association and the people who have yet to pay. In De Pere, Karl Winter, NBC 26. For most of 2024, there was not enough snow on these trails for any sled dog racing, but now in 2025, the snow is back, and so are the mushers, dogs, and ski drawers.
This is my puppy pack. Are you my puppy pack?
Yes.
Elizabeth Jeske has been with her puppy pack for 9 years and counting.
I see them more than I see my family usually. They are my family, truly.
The Oconto County native has seen the sport grow, along with her love of it.
When I first got into dog mushing, dryland racing was like kind of a new thing. And now it's super popular because we don't have the good winters anymore typically.
But this year is a happy return to winter, and no one is more excited than Jeske's Huskies.
Hello, I didn't see you yet.
And Nina Baum's hounds.
Good job.
Baum helps organize and promote sled dog racing around Wisconsin.
Okay, let's go. We're so excited to have snow again this year. Last year, we had to cancel almost all of our races, so the fact that we're able to host them again this year is absolutely awesome. The dogs have been dying to get out. They're just going wild, so the dogs are probably the happiest ones.
Baum and Jeske say the sport has grown in recent years and is easier than ever to get into. All you need is a dog that likes to run and a few pieces of equipment.
The biggest area of change and growth that I've seen is with the smaller class sizes. It's hard to have a lot of dogs, so more and more people only have a couple, but they want to still go out and be active and do something with them.
It's easy to get into the sport with just a couple dogs. The hard part is to just stay with a couple dogs because it's a lot of fun.
Jeske says she's ready to compete this weekend with her team of 6 Huskies at one of the Midwest's first races on the snow in more than a year.
I do have some personal goals that I'd like to achieve and goals with the kennel and the dogs. But overall, I love that it challenges me to grow and to adapt and that I get to work with my dogs.
The Wisconsin Trailblazers Sled Dog Club has its first race of the season Saturday and Sunday in Gleason and another in Rhinelander the following weekend. Reporting from Rhinelander, Karl Winter, NBC 26.